one of my most challenging moments in my life was when I entered college. What made it challenging was the fact that I was taking all of my previous knowledge and the way that I went about living my life and achieving my grades. I took all of that information and I just slammed it right into my college experience. So, okay, I was sitting in the front of the class. I was making it to the classes. I was doing the work. But inside, I've always felt like I can just do it my way because the things that worked for me before can work now. Who cares if the environment changed? Who cares if I've grown a little bit more? What I did for me in the past should work now. At least that's what I thought until the grades start rolling in and I started not seeing what I wanted to see. And all of a sudden I started to feel as though I couldn't keep up. I couldn't trust myself. I couldn't believe in myself. I wasn't able to enjoy the experience. The message that I want to bring to you today is about having a talent or a gift is not necessarily the main reason why you're going to be successful. You see, what is not a gift can be acquired. And while I was at my college enjoying the experience, I wasn't really maximizing who I was because I kept giving into this deep inside feeling that it doesn't matter. I know what to do. I got this. I can handle it. Yeah, there's a way to go about it. There's a rubric. There's even a path that I can follow, but my way is the best way. Up until it didn't help me achieve what I wanted to achieve. Now, I share this story because it doesn't really matter what you're trying to accomplish in life right now, but what does matter is understanding who you are, being aware of the skills that you have, and if they are not something you're gifted with, you can acquire it. So when I was having my challenges in my classes and I was being so stubborn trying to do things my way, I started to humble myself a little bit. I started to understand that if I wanted to do better, if I wanted to achieve my goals, if I wanted to have better grades, I was going to need to be humble to the process. There is a process to achieving the lifestyle that you want right now. The goals that you have, the dream, the vision, everything you want, there's a process to it. For me, when I took certain classes, I realized, okay, this isn't going well. I'm really not enjoying this. I really don't even like this class. Why do I need to take this class? It was something to help me get to the next level. It was a stage that I needed to pass so that I can go forward. And for you, maybe this is you right now. Maybe you're at this place where you just can't seem to go forward because you're trying to do it your way. You're being stubborn about it. You have the resources, you know how to work out, you know how to eat right, but you're not practicing what's necessary to help you win. So for those classes that were not a gift or a talent or a natural understanding for me, I realized that I needed to take my time. I started to say, you know what, maybe this class will not get mastered in 20 minutes. Maybe I have to put in an hour of time per day so that I can really understand the material, because trying to do it in 5, 10, or 15 minutes, maybe even 30, isn't helping it stick. I want to use this opportunity to help this stick into your mind, because maybe you realize that you've given up, and maybe you realize that, exercising and, just trying to sit here and live the way you want to live just isn't easy. It's not a gift. It's not a talent. But what it takes is consistency. It takes will. It takes effort. It takes commitment. You see, if I'm interested in this opportunity, we can talk about it. But when it comes down to it, I'm going to tell you that I want it, but I'm not going to do anything about it. It's going to sit right here in my brain, take up all of this space, block any other type of blessings or messages coming your way and my way. here's what I want you to do. I want you to take this opportunity to understand that, okay, here's your dream. Here's your vision. When do you want to accomplish this by? I'm sure there's someone that you have spoken to. I'm guilty of this and said, you know what? By this time next month, by this time next year, I will be fill in the blank. Where will you be? Where were you telling people you were going to be? And now you're here. Did you achieve that goal? Did you get what you were looking for? Or are you saying, man, I would start, but. Now, if you're not aware of your gifts or your talents, or even what you want to do, let me save you a little bit of hardship. It's okay. You're not in trouble. You're not making mistakes. You don't know. And if you don't know, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So it's all good, right? But what happens when you do know? What happens when you do know this stuff and you know this information and you say you want, but then you do nothing with it? You're just wasting your time. And all of a sudden, it feels like you can no longer attack your performance because you started attacking the person. And you know what I mean by that, right? What I mean is, instead of saying, you know what, I missed a meal, you know what, I gave myself a D for the day because I just knew I didn't eat the best that I could have. Now I'm talking negatively to myself. And I'm saying, you know what, Flex, you're no good. You can't do it. You won't do it. And it makes it hard for me to believe in myself even more because, I mean, who's not guilty of believing that they can't do it, that they will not do it, that this is the most impossible thing that you could ever do? So you give up. You quit. You take that information, you hold on to it, you do nothing with it, but then you have a child, you have a family, and you say, I want to set the example for them. But before you can take care of them, I want to remind you to take care of yourself because you can certainly do it. And I know that you can because there is something you're doing in your life right now that you are a master of. Now, it doesn't matter if you're a good person or consider yourself to be a bad person or villain. My question is, are you really great at it? Are you good at it? You know, when I was a bad guy, I really loved that bad guy, but that bad guy doesn't want to end up in a situation he doesn't want to be in. So I looked at that bad version of myself and I said, you know what? I'll take this skill, I'll take this talent, I'll take this opportunity to just use those skills for the better because we're all seeking what? To be the best versions of ourselves. At least that's what we're telling other people. What happens when we start believing in it? I need you to understand this. It is okay to start over. Maybe you were on your journey and in that moment you just stopped because work and life got hard. You're stressed out and you're overwhelmed. You feel like just the whole world is on your shoulders and you think that you don't have enough time to take care of you. But all that leads to is you being unhappy, feeling like you're taking care of everyone else but yourself. Now you are not feeling well, and all of a sudden you're not accomplishing anything you wanted to do. You don't need to wait any longer to find out who you are because you already know. You've always known. It's one of the reasons why I enjoy doing health and wellness. It's why I enjoy working with people. It's why I enjoy coaching clients. You see, what I point out to people or what I help people understand is, look, here's what's going on as you're exercising and you're working out. This is more than just doing a push-up and a pull-up and some curls. This is more than just coming in here and sweating. What's happening is, number one, you showed up. So thank yourself for that. You showed up when you didn't want to and you still got there. But then when you got there, what happened? Your natural self took over. That person said, well, now we're here. We might as not waste our time. Let's do something about it. You got to appreciate that moment too. So what do? Whether you're being encouraged by a coach or you're listening to your favorite song and you're like, all right, it gives me the energy to go on. You're moving, you're sweating, you're mentally pushing through, right? And all of a sudden that energy that you came into with starts to shift. You start to feel good. You start to feel like you can. You start to feel like you will, and so you do. So now that you have these opportunities in front of you, you start to really push and believe because you can. So for the things that you honestly feel are holding you back, I want you to write them down. And you can write a list of 30, you can write a list of 50, whatever it is, you can write down your top 10. But only focus on one or two things, because we understand that life is a marathon and not a sprint. So you want to take your opportunity to just understand what's going on. And as you map out what's going on, here's the most important part. Identify what is most important to you right now. See, we think that everything that's in our brains just kind of rolling consistently means that it's the most important thing. It's not. You can have dreams, you can have visions, you can have wants, you can have needs. I mean, these are things that are natural that comes into every single part of our day, even the task of the things that we need to do. You can manage this. And you manage it by taking a realistic look at it. And you say to yourself, what can I do? What can I do right now? What can I do right now? And if there's nothing you cannot do about it, here's what you can do. You can delay it, you can delegate it, or you could dump it, meaning you could just completely move on because it's not the most important thing to you. So move it aside, okay? I'm human just like you are. And if you're feeling like, man, it's just hard. Yeah, life is hard. But going through your journey, I want you to pay attention to your journey. I was mentioning about your fitness journey and being able to identify what's going on because, again, we're back in that fitness environment. You were in your workout. You didn't quit. You kept going. You made it to the end of that workout. You even said, whew, thank God it's over. And all of a sudden, your body starts to ache and you're like, man, I can't wait to get home. And when you get home, you think of your benefits. My day's going much better. I feel like I've had a moment to breathe. I did something that I wanted to do. I, too, have been guilty of going into a moment, having a great time with the moment, not identifying why it was great, and then now I jump right into the next thing. So I'm not showing myself appreciation, nor am I transitioning from my opportunity to breathe. The reason why I'm winning right now isn't because I'm doing 1,000 things a day. The reason why I'm winning right now is because I recognize my top priorities. What do I need to accomplish in this day? Yesterday's already happened. Tomorrow's going to get here. Right now, what's most important right now? And as I identified those things in between each moment, okay, a few weeks ago when I was stressed out and I was overwhelmed and felt overworked, it was because I identified these things, but I did not give myself an opportunity to transition. The transitional moments are so important. They don't have to be long or 30 minutes or anything like that. It could be 1 minute sitting still, being quiet, breathing, taking in the environment, and saying, you know what, I feel good. I can move on now. Because when you do that, you at least get to say, you know what, I did a great job a moment ago. In this very moment, I can do nothing, and I feel good about it. And you got to actually do nothing, because when I sat here and I said I was resting, but I still started doing my client work, and it wasn't me going out exercising. I'm sitting down designing programs, right? But I'm still working. I'm not taking that break. So give yourself an opportunity to take a break, okay? What I wanted to remind you of today is that you do not need to have all the gifts and all the talents in the world. You just need to understand that there is no one like you. You are a very unique person with a very unique purpose. And if you do not understand what your skills and your talents are right now, that's okay. Discover them, work on them, and focus on them. But if you're saying you want to get somewhere and you're committed to getting there, then understand that it's going to take a little bit of hard work. And that hard work means that you simply got to spend a little bit more time with yourself. And as scary as that may seem, it is the one thing that's going to help you. Because why? When I was in college, no one took those tests for me. I took those tests. No one studied for me. I put in those hours of study. No one sat there and did these exercises for me. I had to do them. So it doesn't matter when you wake up, whether it's in this moment, whether it's 5 years from now, when you get up and you get on your feet, I want you to understand that you do not need to look back if you understand where you are today. And if you take the opportunity to acquire that knowledge, that skill, that talent that you want, I promise you, you're going to get to exactly where you want to be. So today, maximize the opportunities you have. Let's not wake up tomorrow and say, you know what? I could have done something about it yesterday, because no one takes that hit but you. You ultimately know how you feel. And I'm here to remind you that it's okay. Even myself, I have moments of doubt and, disbelief, but that's what makes us human. I don't think there's anyone on this planet that walks around and says, there was never a time that I didn't think that I couldn't do it. We all have that kind of feeling. The difference is when we have that feeling, we don't give into it. We don't quit. We don't say, you know what, you're right. I cannot do it. Adapt and understand that you can. Give it your best effort every single day. And most importantly, remember, what is not a gift of yours, what is not a talent of yours, it can be acquired. There is no magic secret other than the fact that you are ultimately in control of where you go from here. So my challenge to you as you lead this conversation is to identify one thing you want to work on. And then number 2, give it everything you got. Have a great rest of your day. I believe in you. Be sure to believe in yourself as well. See you next time.